In this video, one of iOS's most interesting apps gets a major update, Pioneer finally supports Android for some of its apps, and Circuit is back with another update. Find out more coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video. So RemixLive is updated once again, this time to version 3.6. This new update gets support for the new iOS version 11, and the most important feature of version 3.6 of RemixLive is it now supports the new Files app. So what this means is you can actually have files on your iPad now that are accessible to different applications, RemixLive included, so you can take your own samples and loops and drag them in from the Files app directly into RemixLive. What this also means is that you can also export recordings you've made in RemixLive to the Files app and then move them over to your computer, upload them to SoundCloud, etc. So this is a really big step, not only just for RemixLive, but for iOS music apps in general. This will make moving files back and forth way easier than it has been in the past, and the ability to now import and export by having that second app open and just dragging and dropping just changes the workflow and just makes it way more natural compared to having to dig through menus and having different ways of importing and exporting depending on the app you were using. Now with this new Files app and the ability to drag and drop, this shows that the workflow of moving audio files from your computer onto your iPad and then using them in your app and then taking what you've created on your iPad and different performances you've made, or maybe you're making a beat on the go and saving it and having it ready to transfer back to your computer. The workflow has changed completely in a way more natural way, and it makes way more sense, and it's going to be a lot faster for all the creators out there. Recently, Pioneer has announced that their WeDJ software will now be available via the Google Play Store for Android. Now previously, the WeDJ app was only available via the iOS App Store, but now it being available on the Google Play Store. But now you can use your Android tablet or phone with hardware such as the WeDJ WeGo 4. This opens up a whole, new demographic of users for Pioneer's gear. A lot of Android tablets and phones are a lot cheaper than iOS devices such as an iPhone or an iPad, so this makes their software more accessible to a wider audience, which is really great. So more people can download the app, and even without the actual hardware, you can still mix and get some of the features and still DJ with this app on your Android phone or Android tablet now. And in a lot of ways, Android phones and tablets have caught up to iPads and iPhones, and so this makes perfect sense for Pioneer to dip into this market because there aren't that many DJ apps available for Android through the Google Play Store compared to the iOS App Store. So tapping into this market and being able to use Pioneer DJ hardware along with this app, or just using the actual app standalone, is a great move in my opinion. And finally, Novation has updated the circuit once again. We're now at version 1.6, and this new version includes 4 great updates. These 4 new features include panning, a light dimming mode, micro steps, and the ability to send program change messages. Now first up is panning. Novation said that this was their most requested feature. Now unlike it just being a monosynth, the ability to pan is really important, so it makes sense that they finally added this to Circuit. Second up is a light dimming mode. Now this is a feature that I wish not only hardware synth manufacturers would have included with their hardware, but DJ hardware as well. I've been in tons of booths where hardware is just way too bright. I'm specifically talking about the Rain 62. I always wish there was a way to dim the lights on that mixer. It just makes it a lot harder to see in some conditions, and especially with synth hardware that has a lot of RGB lights such as the Novation Circuit, it makes sense to finally add a dim mode, because if you're working late at night, you don't need the LEDs at their full brightness. So giving the ability to dim it and work at night, or if you need the brightness during the day, is a feature that's super welcome, and I'm glad that Novation has added this to the circuit. Third feature is really cool. It's micro steps. What this does is within each step, you can actually re-trigger a sample or a loop multiple times, 6 to be exact. So you get different polyrhythmic patterns and you get more creativity in that way, because you can create patterns that are outside of the boundaries of just those specific steps. You can either get a lot more in depth with your percussion or with your synth stabs, etc. So having this extra flexibility is definitely welcome as well. And finally, what's a big game changer in my opinion is now the Novation Circuit can send program change messages. Now this will only be really applied to people that use external hardware synths connected to their circuit, but what this basically does is that now you can change the synth patches that you have on your hardware synth by using the Novation Circuit to trigger them. So if you're doing a live performance and the circuit is kind of the brain of the operation, this makes it so much easier because just hitting a note can change whatever patch you're using on whatever synth is connected. So if you're going through a whole performance and you need to change a patch for the next song or next part of your performance, it can all be done from the circuit instead of having to flip between the circuit and the hardware synth. It just makes things a lot smoother. So that's it for the news this week. So question of the day, do you guys make music or DJ using an iPad or tablet? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click right here to subscribe to this channel. Or if you'd like to watch more content, go ahead and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.